I'd like to talk briefly about The Great Plains by Walter Prescott Webb. Prescott Webb. I caught on to this book because it was listed in the bibliography of Lone Star by Fehrenbach, which I've talked about in another video. This book on the Great Plains was published in 1931, and it's a thorough exploration of basically the land west of the 98th meridian where life changes, where the trees stop, the water becomes scarce, and some of the book is gripping and some of it is dull. I mean, the parts about the Plains Indians and the Texas Rangers and the stories of the people, that was cool. But the extensive descriptions of barbed wire and irrigation laws and carving up the land, the cattle kingdom, that was a little dry for me. But I'm glad I read it. I mean, it's excellent writing, and there's some cool maps in there. Actually, this edition is a 1959 copyright edition. I got at a used bookstore for $8, and hardback, very nice. And it's actually got a newspaper article from 1963 in it talking about the book. I haven't read that yet, but no. If you're into history, I would say this is very informative. This is not a New York Times bestseller, so it's not going to have all the Sturm and Drang of a Dan Brown or whatever the fuck's going on now. But you know the people that went out west, they very hardy. Oh, there's extensive talk about the Colt revolver. I mean, that's the West would not have been opened without the Colt revolver. I'm not going to talk about everything in the book, but I will say that this is excellent history writing, although a little dry at times, and a good reference book. I find that he'll often summarize a chapter at the end, and that's a lot more palatable than the extensive detail throughout the chapter. Um, anyway, Walter Prescott Webb. He's got a few other books too, but I think I need to read something a little more gripping now. So, The Great Plains, Walter Prescott Webb, and happy reading.